Hi guys, my name's Victoria. I've got Asperger's and this is my story. Asperger's is really mainly composed of three key areas: communication, social interaction and imagination, which I learnt about when I was 11, courtesy of my mum and dad, and a little book cut from a National Autistic Society. The point I really want to make in this video is that there are loads of different facets of Asperger's, good, bad and funny, because in my personal opinion, it's a personality rather than a learning difficulty or a disorder or a disability or any rubbish like that. It's part of me just as much as being grumpy or liking fish and chips is to someone else. Next, routines. People with autism normally have a dependency, or at least a very real comfort from having a routine in place. And the good side of that for me is that without routines I would have been in a constant state of panic when I was little, and even now they give me a lot of comfort. They keep me organised both at home and at work. But of course, sometimes too much dependency on routines isn't always a good thing. And what is the ability to be flexible, to appreciate the surprise every now and again, which I'm happy to say I am reasonably good at. And where would we be without the funnies? When I was little, routines really could go to the extreme sometimes, especially when I was little. We had to cross the road in a certain place. I had to read the same book every night, and I had to eat meals in a certain order. The next thing I'm going to cover is something called executive functions, and that's really hard to describe in a simple phrase. But what it basically is skills that you pick up as you get older, the skills that help you in adulthood. Things like being able to focus on one thing and then move on to something else, being able to return from a break, keep organised, and to be able to take constructive criticism without too much sensitivity. The goodness in this is that finding out about the existence of these was relatively new, and the closest thing to an epiphany I've ever had. It was a real revelation, especially since I only found out about the existence of them fairly recently. And so many things that I've had trouble with when I was growing up, I had absolutely no idea were anything to do with autism, and actually are everything to do with it. And things like being able to keep my bedroom tidy when I was so good at keeping my work desk organised. Being able to take constructive criticism and not get upset about it. So they are all things that I know how to tackle now, thanks to learning about it. But of course that is a challenge. Trying to make things automatic when you've never once in your life been able to do it is really difficult. And sometimes if I've slipped off or fallen behind, I've been known to feel like a bit of a failure about not being able to do something that other people my age have no trouble with. And of course the funny. So this is going to sound like something out of a movie, but going to the course in question when I found out about these, I'm sorry to say I was rather sceptical that I'd learn anything. But by the end of the course I was absolutely eating my words. I do quite a few talks covering stuff like this at my workplace, and one thing that they always ask me is if I've got any coping strategies, so I thought it's only right that I share them with you. Playing music has got to be a big one, because when I put this on, if I go somewhere like town or I'm on my way to work, then it helps a lot in blocking out other sensory stimulations like the noise on the bus or the people in town or anything like that, and it makes the whole experience a heck of a lot more pleasant. So definitely invest in one of these. Put all your favourite music on, get yourself some headphones, and as long as you remember to cross the roads and look first, then these are really helpful. Using routines and writing stuff down has got to be a big one. Using routines helps me to organise my life when I need to. Having a bedtime routine, a morning routine, being able to organise and prioritise my work in a certain order, they all help me to be a better person. Writing stuff down is also a good one, because if someone tells me something and I feel like I'm going to forget it, then this is what I do. That helps me make sure I deliver and all sorts, really. Also helps me put down something if I'm not feeling so great and don't feel ready to tell yet, then this is what I do. Or if I need to plan something, or I need to reassure myself about something, there's something about getting it all down on paper that just helps the voice of reason to become the dominant one. One of the best ones has definitely got to be talking to my mum and nana. Well, without them I really don't know where I'd be. If you can't talk to your family, then find someone, a good friend or someone at school or work, college, whatever, that just gets you. Is able to tell you when you're doing wrong without judging you, and keep you on track and listen to you when you need it. When I started looking for a job, one of my supporters at an employment course, in a preparation for employment course, suggested that I put together a record of achievement. And it was one of the best suggestions I have ever received in my life. In here you can put all your certificates, whatever they might be, thank you cards you've got, and pictures people have drawn for your work. So put it all in here, and if you're ever feeling low, then you can just look through. Remind yourself how brilliant you are if other people do their best to tell you that you're not. During my life, I've come across a lot of attitudes, and some I thought I should really go over them so they can get a kind of flavour of the sort of people that are out there, who you should be spending your time with and who you shouldn't. We'll start with the good ones. It's my privilege to know some of the most wonderful people at work, at home, my friends. Before I came to work, the only people that treated me with respect were my family and my closest friends. I almost never knew the sensation of people wanting to spend time with me. And now I'm treated with respect every day. It's the best feeling in the world. But unfortunately, there were some perceptions and opinions of people that were not so great. And from quite a large chunk of my life, I went from being an easy target at school to someone that faded in the background at college. And I didn't think it was a bad thing, because as far as I was concerned, it was that or nothing. Go back to what it was like at school, where I got picked on literally on a daily basis. It never occurred to me that people who weren't my family and closest friends would actually want to hang out with me or enjoy my company before I came to my current job. Another one I've come across is patronising. I've had so many people in my life, but they always treat me like I'm a child with the body of an adult. And there have been people speak to me at college like I should have been in nursery. It's absolutely hilarious to look on now. Most good books finish with an appendix at the end for other things that you may want to check out, so that's what this is. Number 1, echolalia, because sometimes I have a habit of repeating myself or what other people have said under my breath without even knowing I'm doing it, so that's 1. Number 2 is auditory processing disorder. If you ever put a CD or a DVD on fast forward and when they're talking it becomes all garbled and nonsense and you can't make out one word from another, well, that's what having APD is like. And number 3 is Irlen syndrome, and that, my friends, is what these are for. This is to correct a form of visual dyslexia known as Irlen syndrome. So that's it. I'm Victoria and this is my life. Thank you very much for listening.